To force his wife to divorce, the husband took another woman to the Civil Affairs Bureau every month to complete the paperwork. But even after he did this 98 times, his wife, who loved him wholeheartedly, still refused to sign. One day, while packing her clothes, the woman stumbled upon a stack of love letters her husband had hidden. Those unsent letters were filled with heartfelt confessions of love. She recalled the days when she chased him around every day, but he remained indifferent, never even looking her in the eye. 3 years later, he finally accepted her proposal. But even after marriage, he remained cold and distant. He would file for divorce if the food was even slightly salty, if the clothes didn't suit his taste, and even if she said goodnight too many times. The woman had believed he had never loved her, but she hadn't expected that he had always loved her. But that love was so twisted it was chilling. It turned out that the man had filed for divorce 98 times over the past 3 years simply to see her humbly plead with him not to leave. He enjoyed her cries, her pleas, her attempts to keep her, treating her love as a tool for his amusement. After learning the truth, the woman was completely despairing. On the 99th divorce, she finally signed, ending this dysfunctional marriage. But he remained unconcerned, assuming she would change her mind again in a few days as usual. But he had no idea that this time, he had truly lost her. After the divorce took effect, the woman began packing to leave, only to discover that the necklace left by her mother was missing. She angrily confronted her husband, but he simply said he had given the necklace away. The woman trembled with anger, but he remained indifferent, even dismissing her as a spoilsport, and left the bar. Unexpectedly, as he stepped out of the door, 2 motorcycles sped towards her. He instinctively wanted to yell at her to get out of the way, but he stopped mid-stretch. He didn't want her to see that he still cared. So, he watched her get knocked down. When the woman awoke, she was lying in a hospital bed. The nurse told her her husband had brought her there, having stayed by her bedside all night and even booked the entire hospital. The woman felt nothing but irony. But when she was about to be discharged, she saw her husband accompanying the scheming woman. Faced with her injuries, the man showed no sympathy. Instead, he offered to let the scheming woman live in his home. The woman calmly agreed, but he sensed something was wrong, thinking she was using a new tactic to attract attention. The next day, the man threw a birthday party for the scheming woman at home, deliberately displaying his affection in front of her. The woman didn't react, simply turning and going outside to get some fresh air. Unexpectedly, the scheming woman followed him out, proudly boasting about how much the man loved her and even provocatively saying he wouldn't care even if she pushed him into the water. The next second, she actually did it, pushing the woman in. The man rushed over and frantically jumped in to save her, his hands shaking violently. But when the woman woke up, he feigned indifference, mocking her for falling into the water at a party. The woman accused the scheming woman of pushing her, but she immediately feigned innocence and turned the tables. The woman demanded to call the police, but the man told her not to make a big deal out of it. At that moment, she completely gave up on him. She insisted on calling the police to seek justice, but the man, assuming she was making a scene again, angrily ordered her thrown into solitary confinement. The moment the door closed, the last vestiges of her worries vanished. 3 days later, she was released, and upon returning to her room, she received an invitation to a class reunion. She decided to go, as a final farewell, but when she arrived at the party, she saw the man with the scheming woman. He displayed affection in public,